Hello. What's up, everyone? How are we? I just finished a commentary shift with Danya. He always makes it pretty easy. We're watching a pretty fun match. I don't know if anyone here is watching it as well, but Ali Reza against Andreykin was highly entertaining. Yeah, Andreykin played super well. Perugia started really slow, which kind of just made it more exciting, and he almost completely threw it at the end of the game. End of the match, rather. Hello, Eddie. Are you making a reference to our latest video by any chance, Mr. Eddie? For those that didn't see the latest Chessbrah video features Mr. Hans. That's right. Slowbrah clown. Slowbrah clown. Both Eric and myself had a chance to play him. We might play him some more, but it's I think it's a good vid. Hoppin' Buckets, thanks for the 4 months. I was gonna say the same thing, Fetus. Long time no see. Thanks for the 4-month resub. How are things over in, what was it, Seattle? How are things, buddy? Oh yeah, if Nose is asking Tim, I mean, can't say no to a guy like that. Semi-Slav from either side. Which move order do you like? Nose, E6, C6? Just because it gets it for sure. Most of the time, starting with C6 first allows the exchange. Exchange Slav, which is just kind of makes you feel a little like you need a shower. Just a little gross. Can't allow that. Man, you know, I ask a lot of people, hey, what's new? How's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. And I can say definitively, Fetus, that you had one of the strongest glowing reports that I've seen. So happy to hear all of the above. It ain't always that nice, but it's nice to see people moving up in the world, especially anyone who's a regular in chat here. Two-way path, 12 months, the full year. New badge. Thanks, two-way path. I am going to play some slow chess today. Might warm up with my usual, do the old chessle. We're at 1800. I can definitely give a semi-Slav a go. So it would be something like d4. You like the Nimzo move order. Knows all. But how does that work? So you go knight f6, e6, and d5. How are you getting the semi-Slav, though? Because you're allowing this this major line, c takes d5, right? This is not the semi-Slav anymore. Oh, and it's not the answer to today's chessle, I'll tell you that. Oof, brutal. Completely wrong. Maybe e4? God damn. Maybe this? Not e6. Not knight f6 either. Hmm. Hey, BJH. Good to see you, buddy. E5. It's not E6. D6 is played at the end? Holy smokes. It really is, BJH. One and the same. One and the same. No knight C6, no knight F6. What the hell's going on here? It ends with black playing D6. The G6? D4? No, maybe it's knight F. No, it's not knight F6. How does white play E5 then? No knight F6. No knight C6. No E6, no D5. No D5 though. What the hell? Why would white play E5 without knight F6 or D5 played? That's what I want to know. The hell? Yeah, it just can't happen. So it has to be E5. But then, what the hell are we doing here? Black plays D6 like down the line. Doesn't play knight F6. Doesn't play knight C6. What the hell move order is this? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Oh my goodness. What the hell is this? We gotta hit him with the King's Gambit. It's forced now. It's forced now. Takes knight F3. No knight C6. D6 gets played later. G5. D4. But E5 happens. E5 already happened. So we're good there. Must be this. Hmm. Maybe this. I don't know. It could just be like a regular move like H6, but well, we know white plays something and then plays D4. Hmm. Could literally be whatever. Dude, what? Maybe this? Oh, it's not 95. Not the G4. I'm so addicted to this stuff. I feel like this is the sauce. It's like gotta be bishop c4 then or something. It's not knight c3. How do you even play these lines? h6? I just don't know the moves. Bishop g7? Bishop g7 looks reasonable. Oh my goodness. Talk about a line that I don't know. Traditional variation. Yeah, as if. As if. My god, that was more testing than it needed to be. Way more than it needed to be. Tone Cruz, thanks for the 34 months. JDA, 35 months. Thanks, JDA. 069. AFK Gone, CM Serious. Nova. Alexander Eve, 28 months. Alexander Eve. Wow. Very specific. You've come back enlightened. You prayed to the god of marbles after last Saturday and was told I have 3 ways to show my gratitude. Gift 20 tier 3 subs, gift 5 tier 3 subs, pledge myself as a tier 3 sub in perpetuity. What's your pick? Well, Alexander Eve, you can't go back on your word now. You can't go back on your word. 3 options were presented, and I think that this court will find that you've suggested just such a generous offer, such a loving, wow, 20 tier 3 subs. It's just so kind from the bottom of your wallet. I mean, your heart. Just for you to think of the community like that is really touching. It really means a lot. I think everyone, I speak for everyone here when I say that 20 tier 3 subs is far too generous. Far too generous. So you know what? I'm not going to select 20 tier 3 subs. But just know that you owe me one for not selecting it. You owe me big time. No. We'll pick the most important one, which is pledge yourself as a tier 3 sub in perpetuity. Of course. Because the main thing that we're after here is that you spend your time in the Chessbrah channel, in the Chessbrah community. And if you're able to do it as a tier 3, then why the hell not? That's the best way that you could repay. Having you around the Chessbrah community in perpetuity sounds like a win-win. So that's definitely the one I pick. That's definitely the one I pick. Yes, exactly, Ralph. Did you get the same speech? In case you're feeling a little hazy about converting to the Chessbrah stream full time, we have a couple guys that we can send over to smooth things, smooth the edges, give you the pep talk, tell you what the benefits of Chessbrah are. The chessle gave me a hard time. That was quite something. All right. I'm doing more slow games. We're exactly 1800 right now. Zelly Live, thanks for the 11 months with Prime. Coming up to the year. Not sure, Alexander, but it might depend what kind of sub you're on. I don't know if you're on a, just a regular paid sub, a Prime sub, a gifted sub. It always means something different depending which one you're on, but we'll figure it out. Hopefully you can get subbed in September, because I tell you, 6 months off a tier 3 sub right now, you're getting great value. So I'm sure we can make it happen. Slowbrah's 1800 now, I know. That's right, M. Chronos. You can definitely attest. Yeti Boots, thanks for the Prime 15 months. Hello, Gob. Thank you, finally. Someone's on my team here, looking out for my rating. So let's go. 15 minutes, 10-second increment. I'm going to go for another slow chess game. Let me know what opening you might like to see. Hopefully I can play it for you and maybe we'll learn a thing or two. I already have a few suggestions that are rattling around in here. Namely the Semi-Slav. Yes. Proud fave. Alright. Let's see here. What are we going to get? Move 1. D4. Well, that certainly gives me the option to play D5. Bishop F4. Now, here's the thing. Against Bishop F4, you're not playing a semi-Slav. Like, it's just a really bad line to try. It's terrible. When you're playing against the London, you have to be a little more direct. 30 system players, yeah. But this guy's 1850. This guy's 1850, so I am curious how he's gonna play it because he should have his opening dialed in here. What line are we gonna play against it? I've played a few lines thus far. Let's see. Crazy gambits with E5, not yet. C5. A lot of fans of C5. Okay. I'll let you guys drive the ship a little bit. All right. C5. E3. All right, so he's a real system, bruh. No, Queen B6 here is far too hasty. Far too hasty. After knight C3, we're just in a worse position. We definitely need to develop some knights. Knight F6, knight C6, both look pretty good. Go knight C6, takes E5, just makes so much sense. Of course, that's not at all forced. These would be the two moves that I expect. He could still want to play knight c3, but I'm glad that he played c3, so we actually do see the difference immediately in skill level, right? He's 1850, which means he's keenly aware here that queen b6, he needs to meet with queen b3. So he's done a good job. Right, bishop out, e3, c3. Now we gotta think. Knight f6, queen b6, bishop f5. I think those would be the three moves that I would consider here. I'm gonna go knight f6. This one is important from white, so he definitely understands. Set this up and develop your queenside pieces. Seems unusual, but that's definitely how we want to get developed. So he's played the opening really well. Not like white has a substantial advantage or an advantage at all, but yeah, this is how you want your London to look. And now we have an option. And quite a friendly one, I might add. I think bishop f5 is probably going to be my choice. Taking. This is another popular one. So taking and, eventually trying to get knight h5. e6, knight here, takes, knight h5. Don't think I'm going to go for e6, though. I'll play bishop f5 with the idea to maybe play e6. See how he wants to play. Now, one thing is true. If you play queen here, which I played a number of times before, queen b6 is not a good response. White can take this pawn, and if you take back, then b7 hangs. So you actually don't want to play this, even though it looks really natural. So black has two main options, queen c8 and queen d7. Regardless, if the pawn captures, we will play e5. And then if bishop g5, my queen's on c8, I can play bishop e6. I'm trying to remember what's the problem with queen d7. It looks more natural, but is it? Because queen d7 also walks into like a knight e5, which doesn't feel great. So it should be okay, but I think it's queen c8 here. Additionally, I could also capture and play queen c8, but now that queen b7 is an option, it just gets a little more dicey. So I'm going to play queen c8 immediately to guard this pawn. Again, like I said, I think my opponent's played pretty well so far. Takes in e5, and if knight f3, then just e6, and finally the bishop covers the c5 pawn. So pawn takes here, e5, bishop g5. Looks good because if I take here, then white takes and grabs the d5 pawn. That actually wouldn't be good for me. So I believe what we want to do here, and it will look really strange, is take e5, bishop here, and then drop the bishop to e6. Guarding the pawn, intending, perhaps, maybe, d4. The queen loose there, and then just capturing on c5 the next turn. Bishop e2, all we can say is that we are very happy to see a move like that. That's a good one for us. I might be able to just go over that after the game, Gridipans, if you remind me later, but it's playable, but not that good. So bishop e2 just doesn't really do much. e6 is completely fine here. We're even going to get h6. The thing about my position is I'm probably close to playing c4 and then b5. Like I can play c4, b5, gain a lot of space over there, which I do like. That feels good. Do we want to do it now? That's the question. c4, queen d1, e6. I think it's the idea. If I go e6, it probably like literally just won't matter. It'll transpose. So after this, I'm just going to go e6 to start. If knight here, then I'll probably play c4. Not going to rush it. But this is the idea. If he wants to take, though, be my guest. Finally, this pawn's defended. Knight here. Yeah, we have h6, but I do think move c4 is a good one. So c4, queen back, b5, knight here. I think we have bishop e4. Yeah, knows all. If this ever happens, knight here, I would just drop the bishop back. I don't see a problem with that. But this is the moment where I'm thinking of c4 because it's the moment where I'm about to move my bishop, so it makes the most sense. So that's why I'm drawn to the move c4 now and why I wasn't bothered playing e6 earlier. It's not like this is a big problem, but once you move the bishop, it does make the most sense for white to take. And I have a choice. First of all, this move is forced, I would say. Doesn't make any sense to go here because just a6 and b5. So I believe this move is a mistake. Not like a huge error, but just like a small inaccuracy. Now we'll get b5, and although he wants to play knight e5, it just won't matter. Play b5 and force the queen back. It is annoying not having bishop d6. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's a good diagonal. Some moment I can maybe think about winning the bishop, but not winning, but getting the bishop for my knight. But yeah, connecting these pawns will feel really good. b3 just loses on the spot. I wonder how he's going to play this. Knight e5 has a clear answer. Queen d1 though, the game goes on. Ooh, a3 is a step in the right direction for me. That's what I want to see. Because he's not going to stop me from playing b4. Like, it will happen in this game. And it also means that the move b3 is not going to be that good anymore. So b5 is a definite, it's a move we want to play. It's not that a3 like blunders something. It's just, it gives me time to do the things that I want to do. Put it that way. So we'll repel the queen. It'll have to go back. And then I think I'm just going to play h6 here. Hmm. So I have a couple options. Bishop e7 or h6. To me, those are the only two options. Yes, a5. I want to do this, but I don't need to rush that. I have that waiting for me. Bishop e7, knight here. The only thing I'm pausing to think about is like bishop e4, for example. It's a pleasant feeling to be able to keep my bishop here. I'm not gonna lie, it actually is really important for the queenside play. So how serious is knight h4? Because I will say that if I just go bishop g6, that's an achievement for white. Okay, I am gonna go for h6. Keep the bishop. I just feel like the bishop is so necessary. He might just play the same thing, like h3 or something here. There is a school of thought that I might play like knight h5, for example. I want to keep the bishop here. It's something that, I mean, I think if he just castles and plays h3, then h6 looks very normal. But when I see him playing this move, it just gives me the impression he's probably not going to be like ultra direct. So we'll see. 95. Not really bothered by this. Bishop e7 or knight takes e5 are the overwhelming moves here. I think this should be fine. G4 is a little much. I don't know if I can buy into to G4. Yeah, no, it's definitely a way to play for white. But I can't live in fear of G4. The only other way to play was knight e5 and knight d7, which is pretty good, I'm not going to lie. Takes, my bishop would be here, knight d7. You don't really want to lose the bishop, so bishop back and then bishop e7. F3 is like a really weird looking move. It's like if you wanted to play G4, you could have just done it, actually. So this one's catching me off guard here. First thing I think of is knight h5. That has to be the reaction. Like, how is that move? So knight h5, bishop g3. That doesn't really look that good. Takes, bishop takes. That's always fine, I guess. The knight h5 knight takes is the one I'm looking at. Yeah. I actually think I want to take... One of the reasons is, like, if he is going to go for this, I kind of like to be able to play bishop g6. One thing I don't like about castling is g4, and then g5, takes. I don't know. Like, it's not good for white, but I feel like I'm putting up with more than I deserve to be. So I'm going to take... I think pawn takes is always, like, completely wrong. So it should be bishop takes, and then I think I'll just castle. At that point, I'm not scared of this. I will play knight d7, and then the plan is just a5, b4. So yeah, let's just castle. This is a move, but not a very dangerous move for us. a5, b4. That's what's happening next. Yes, these moves can happen, but I have to let him happen. All right, he's all in, I guess. H4. Knight d7 looks like a good place to start. Or at least an interesting place to start. Bishop has to go back, probably to f4. If g4, we'll probably go to h7. But I think no matter what, I want my knight here. Like, whether I'm playing bishop here, doesn't matter. I know I want my knight here. If he plays bishop here, he's blocking the pawn. If he plays bishop here, g4, bishop h7 is kind of the end of the story. Probably I should just go for the queenside play here. And bishop h2 blunders the h4 pawn. So I think he's going to go here. This looks fine. So g4 could go bishop g6 actually. Because h5 is not the that's not the scary move. I'm just gonna go here. Don't really believe in what's happening here, so I'll just ask him to show me. E4 looks, it definitely looks like the move here, but truthfully, a capture there I wouldn't really be too upset about. And if he goes here and g5 and I go h5, he's not really able to attack that pawn without moving the bishop and then moving the pawn. I feel like by that point I am getting some serious counterplay. So maybe important decision here, h7 or g6. Counterintuitively, I want to play g6 here. Because h5, bishop h7, then all of a sudden he can't play g5. So this will look very strange, but I'm actually going to go here. because I think h5 is not really helping the situation. Now if I want to permanently stop this, I think I can play f6 or queen d8 also watches over it. Yeah, b4 looks pretty, say, mandatory here. Let's continue. Again, f6 always halts the progress here. I was a little more worried about the move g5 by white, so for better or for worse, I encouraged the move h5. We'll see if that was actually correct. b4, got to go for something over here. Can't just be focused on the king side. Queen g1, he might try to play this. And again, I can go perhaps for this kind of defense or for f6. So let's take. He moves the queen over here. I think we take and we force the queen to come all the way back. Kind of good for us. We'll see how he wants to proceed. As I said, here we'll force the queen to come back. Rook h2. To be quite honest with you, I'm not sure what's going on there. Seems like he wants to do this, but it's almost like he wants to go here and then rook there. It's some sort of weird situation here. So now either queen c6 or takes and queen c6 looks correct. I could take and go queen a8, but I think then he's going to go queen g1, and I guess I'm not really sure what the better option is for me. I think it all looks more or less the same. It all looks pretty good. Queen c6. If he goes here, I'll be playing f6, I think. I think that's the easiest. Looks a little weakening, but overall, I think it's the best looking move. If he keeps the rooks on the board, I think it only benefits me. And if he brings the queen here, we get to force him to go all the way back to that side of the board. So this will not be a nice feeling for him. Like going all the way here and then going all the way back. If he wants to take, we'll go ahead and recapture. And specifically when g5 becomes a threat, I'll just go f6. And I'm not sure where the breakthrough is there, truthfully. Long term, I want my rook to go down to a2. That'll be where I start to pressure. And it's important in these positions not to rush this move. You know for a fact that if this happens, that you're ready to take back. The pawns are doubled there. Queen b7 was probably a nicer move. Maybe it watches the b pawn. But most importantly, after taking, I have queen b2, which comes with many threats. So I like that. I chose queen c6 because I actually wanted to support bishop d6, maybe. As for this, I think bishop h4 is kind of nonsense. But I definitely feel queen b7 was a better move, but I did this because I wanted to have bishop d6 as an option. Here, I'm probably going to play f6. I don't see the point of including that. maybe we can get him to fully load up. Like here, I'll take, bring the rook, and we'll get him to like load up on the G file, basically because I want him to. And then I'll play f6. Whereas if I play f6 immediately, I'm not sure I could get him to play queen g1 because he would already understand that there's no pressure. Like there's no g5 move happening in this game. So I kind of want this move to happen. Play f6, so totally clamping down that move. And I guess all I'm saying is you've got everything loaded up for one move, and now you're not getting that move, and I'm about to play rook a2. Yes, I admit it. My queen should be on b7 here. I did this really thinking, oh, it just supports bishop d6, but some small regret not having the queen there. Rook a2 will happen next. And it's nice that this queen can't use the b1 square. Hey, Amsteriga. Great to see you, buddy. Now, I'm not saying nothing's going to happen to me here, but bishop here, f4, knight f3, bishop h4, like g5 takes many moves to happen, and I'm one move away from making a threat. So I'm wondering what he's going to do. Maybe e4? Because the second that he starts to like switch his pieces back over here, I think that plays into my hands. And let's not forget that e5 is not a crazy move either. It wasn't really my whole threat or point of f6, but it does come with it. e5 has a nice idea of like queen b6, queen takes e3, and bishop c5 mate. So there's something there. But of course he's not going to take it. He's just going to move the bishop in that case. But there's ideas, that's all. Kind of a light version of that tactic might be like e4, e5. Trying to get something to work there. It's understandable that he's spending time here. It's not a comfortable spot. His main plan just got prevented. It's truly not comfortable. It's a good move. Might be the best move. But like I said, we're happy to see these kinds of things where he switches back to the other side of the board. No, it's not the best move, says Ricardo. Apologies, Ricardo. I believe you. Something tells me you know what the best move is. I think rook a2 is... I think rook a2 is tempting. But I'm actually really feeling like this queen needs to be precisely where it's not right now. I want it on this diagonal. I want it hitting this square. And now maybe preparing rook a2. So I'm going to go queen b6. Definitely should have had the queen on b7 immediately, and then maybe I would already be having some big threats. But one thing with rook a2 that I was thinking is, I don't know, maybe that he would take or something. Take and try to play b3. Have to be a little careful there. I think I'm in between a couple different plans right now. Okay, he wants to put this bishop here, there's no doubt. Yes, we have this, but bishop e3. He keeps things covered. I think basically I want to do nothing here. Actually, there's a little bit of poison in this position. Rook a2, some kind of knight c4. Okay, this move should be happening already. King h8 is going to be a useful move for me eventually. Just not fully sold on that one yet. I can do this because of the pin. Takes, takes, takes. I can just take it. King h8 looks like a useful move for me in general. Queen on b6 is definitely on a little bit of a funny square. Queen b2 does seem to make some sense. Bishop a3 forces the queen somewhere there. I'm going to start with this one. Just hit the queen. Not entirely sure where it wants to go. I like the idea of bishop d6. Maybe bishop d6 first was just the way to go, but I have to remember that this weird knight move is going to present itself soon, right? Takes, takes, and knight takes. So now I think it doesn't quite work because of, yeah, basically these checks. I think the queen is worse here than it is here. That could be wrong, but yeah, we'll try to trade this bishop off. Okay, and I think it is time to move this. I don't like thinking about this move like literally nonstop, so let's put the king in the corner. In here, there's this. Queen f4 does look like a good move. So good, in fact. Maybe we could have played it last turn, but you know, those are the positions where like knight takes, bishop takes, my rook's hit, rook takes, bishop takes, check, king back. I lose 3 pawns, maybe a piece as well. Something feels wrong about it. Just king h8 safety first. I don't want to be dealing with weird sacrifices like that. Although this looks tempting, I think this might be the approach. Hit this pawn. I was thinking of queen here, but ultimately decided against it. Knight b1, queen b3 I was planning. Yeah, I was thinking queen b3 here. Rook a1 might also be a move, but queen b3 looks nice and simple. Remember now that this pawn is loose, and if you take this, then even the knight might become loose. Take here, we just win the queen and ultimately the game. It's hard to really undo things now. So now you go here. If I go rook a1, there's rook b2. So I think we'll need to trade here. Maybe this one. Thinking about taking first, but then bishop takes, so I'll take here first. I'm still hitting the knight, which is nice. My pawns have really fallen apart here. Fall from grace. Bishop e4, there's knight d2. Is it worth getting my queen over? Probably yes. And I'll try to keep it more simple. Bishop d5 here. Guard this. Yeah, I was thinking maybe queen f2. But ultimately, how can you say no to taking a pawn? I'm on the defensive a little bit here. Not gonna lie. Let's do this. Could take that and try queen a8, but I think at this point, a lot of moves will be decent. And try to keep the pressure up. I'm still hitting this knight, so it's like kind of uncomfortable. Nice move, nice move. Queen a8's the safest. Knight d5 is definitely playable. Choose a safe move. I like knight d5, but what I don't like about it is that it allows this and some perpetual down the line. At least here, I'm definitely keeping my pawn. Yeah, let's bring this king. Yeah, no, I was talking about down the line, guys. So knight d5, I get that this can't be taken right away, but my issue is like the king moves, and suddenly this pawn is hanging. So it was a good move. There's nothing wrong with it. d5. I was thinking about just moving the king here. A little annoying, eh? Let's make the awkward journey. Hmm. Bit annoying, huh? Let's try this seemingly crazy move. Oh, I was actually going to play... Well, I'm going to go ahead and play it. Because this is what I was planning. Knight d7. I just didn't really see knight takes d7, to be honest. This was my brilliant attempt. Yeah, not so brilliant now. We'll have to move our king. All right, let's go here. Really what we could have done is actually play king there, queen takes, and then take here. And I'm pretty convinced that black's actually doing well in that endgame. But now, as it stands, I'm not sure that we are dead. I'm trying to think here. Knight c5, close to dead. Knight there. The only check is here. Knight takes queen g3, and I don't know if white's that happy there anymore. Okay, maybe we start with the like the pawn capture here. Take it with a check. Start with this check. King e2, I take this with a check. Seems mildly annoying. Mildly annoying, and yet he confidently does it. Check. So king here, it almost looks like this. Wins the queen, but it doesn't quite. Well, let's go for this one. This one makes the most sense just because you win the knight, but I was really thinking about this. I decided against it because of knight d2 in the end. Now this, we wish. Check. It should be more than enough. Okay. I think it has to be queen. Yeah, sadly for my opponent, I really do think it had to be queen takes g7. It's not a pleasant move, but allowing me the 3 connected pawns feels almost too generous. Yeah, 5. My opponent was in a really tough spot. Like, it's hard to coordinate a queen and a knight. I don't envy him for having to manage that. Queen there. Okay, now there should be no more checks. Queen here takes, king f7. If it's just pushing, then that's not enough. Okay. Let's go here because there are a lot of ways to force a queen trade. Like if the queen checks anywhere here, you know what I mean? We'll be able to get a queen trade. So I feel like we can almost force it. Queen trade will win immediately. So like king here loses. Yeah. all queen trades just immediately win because we have too many pawns. What a fun game. Topsy-turvy. Our time caught up to us. I just thought he played a fantastic game. Like, nice opening. Didn't blunder anything. 1850 rapid. Just solid. I think we came up with a nice way to handle his kingside attack. And certainly panicked in the time scramble there, but I guess I was like, this is the move I was going to play. I'll do it anyway, because I miscalculated, and it was evidenced in the game. I was going to play knight d7, and I played knight d7, and I did not see knight takes. I only saw queen takes. I feel like we have a lot of things to go back and look at. I think it makes the most sense to look from the start. Let's see here. London, main line, and he actually played it well. Someone was asking, Gridded Pans, I think, about queen b6, which is not a good move for black. First of all, queen b6 is always possible. I like this move, though. Queen takes is not an option. This is just unpleasant. You don't have rook b8 here. Queen b3, and although knight b3 holds the pawn, it's actually not the move that I prefer to play. Here, just e5, bishop somewhere, knight e4, you just win the pawn back. I like this. Takes on b3, and black plays e5, and I know it looks tempting to go bishop here and take it, but I actually like bishop there, bishop takes, and your entire gameplay. I've had a lot of games like this with the white pieces, by the way. Knight f3, b4, put pressure here. I like this position a lot. White has a small edge here. So that's why not queen b6. There's d7 and there's c8. Both are playable. c8 is better. I believe, maybe marginally, I'm not sure. But to me, it makes more sense because queen d7, you're simply allowing a tempo. Queen d7, you'll run into not necessarily stuff like this, but stuff like this. If you take, this is one of the main, like... I guess technically you could play this, but I believe this is one of the main pitfalls of the opening. After pawn takes, you move your knight, you lose your queen. And if you throw in c4, I think you can take it, and it's like the same issues. It's playable for black, but a little bit weird. So c8 to me is just safer, better. Bishop e2, e6, knight f3, and I think this is the correct moment to play c4 because white is about to take. If I play bishop e7, it feels like bishop e7 takes. That kind of feels bad. So I thought this was definitely the right moment for c4. Then queen a4 was played. I did a6, a3, which I thought was a bit of a soft move. And yeah, here was another big moment where basically... So here's the thing. I justified h6 because I thought a3 is a waste of time. Let me benefit from this wasted time and play h6 and keep my bishop. Because keeping this bishop is absolutely an advantage. Like, having that bishop on the board, for all my queenside play, I think it was a big deal that I possessed the bishop. So... let's say this wasn't played and white was already castled. I would not mess around with h6, most likely. I would want to quickly play bishop e7 and castle. So my justification was white wasted time with a3. And so I decided to play h6 because I felt like I was entitled. Entitled is a good word. But this is what I was looking at. So bishop e7, let's say knight h4. Bishop e4, and if I take it, then pawn takes is usually the move. So, yes, this exists. I mean, it's fine, but the move is, what I'm used to is usually pawn takes and trying to play h6 and g5. And I don't know. I guess this is like a little bit weird. takes here. This is even more interesting for me to know that black just does very well here after g5 and probably h5. This is... But all these lines are because white wasted time with a3. So, like, white should never be in these spots. But this is good to know. Yeah, g5 and h5. It's funny because I'm doing the exact things that I was worried about happening to me. So that's actually even better. Bishop e4. But I wonder how you handle this. I wonder how you handle this. Because imagine that you play this and you're feeling good about yourself. How do you handle knight f3? I know it looks really stupid, but let's say you go back with the idea of now taking. Because you don't want to go back and just repeat moves or whatever. So let's say knight here happens. It's interesting. Of course, nobody would really play like this as white. Like, it just doesn't make sense, but I don't know. Just noticing the line. Not sure I have an answer. Yeah, you can play h6, you can play h5, but the problem is you're losing your bishop without the knight being stranded on h4, which is not as good. So you could play this, and knight takes e4. You don't want to take this way now, so knight takes, but then knight d2, and I think white's doing quite fine here. I don't know. That kind of looks a little annoying to me. So I think a matter of preference. I think bishop e7 is a fantastic move. I think it may even be, more justifiable on the engine. Personally, I like h6 here because I think white's wasted time, and I don't even think white deserves to sniff our bishop here. So I prefer h6 the way we did it, but the moves are very comparable. Knight e5, bishop e7, have to focus on getting castled. And f3. f3 is not good. That doesn't need a reminder. Takes and castles, I'm pretty happy with. I don't know if it's the best line, but I thought this was really smart. h4, he went all out, and definitely, credit to him. This was another decision. g4. And do you go bishop g6 here? Right? Always a tough decision. Bishop h7 or bishop g6. Now, to me, white is making a mistake by playing h5. And I think I really did make the right choice here and had the correct justification. If you play bishop h7, to me, the best way white can play is to play g5. That's how you actually make threats, open the position, and I want to respond with h5. But if I had a choice to put my bishop on g6 here or h7, I would want it on g6, obviously, to have the pawn protected. So that's why I played bishop g6, to be ready for white's best attacking move, g5. If white's playing their second best attacking move, h5, then I'm happy to have basically encouraged it. Because now I don't see any g5 coming. f6 just kills the entire position. So I felt good about this. King there. The only move that I well and truly regretted was not playing queen b7. I think they're, again, very comparable, but queen b7, much better. I was on some, crack cocaine thinking about playing bishop d6. It was not that important. I just needed to play here, f6, and then we're getting immediately down to b2, and we're just much, much quicker than any other line. So queen b7 was a mistake by me not to play. Yeah, f6. So black's doing really well here. I love my position. Here, queen b6, I don't think. It didn't feel right. Something about this, I wasn't happy with this move. I definitely made a mistake here, which was connected with queen b7. So because I didn't play queen b7 and I played this, I was trying to fix the queen and put it back where it should be. So this was a bad couple moves for me. I don't feel good about how I converted this, because I was basically trying to put my queen back where it should have been, but now maybe it shouldn't necessarily be there. I don't know. I wasn't happy with it. takes rook a2. I mean, yeah, there's some knight c4 stuff in general. I think it's fine. I think this was okay. I mean, yeah, the moves are okay here. They're fine. It's just a time scramble. Yeah, knight d5 here is definitely a good move. But knight d5, the issue I had with it was longer term. It wasn't that it immediately was a mistake. It was that longer term, I was like, okay, imagine this happens, right? You're playing with not so much time on your clock, and I respond with, I don't know which one I'm going to do, but let's say king g3. Right? So now this pawn is attacked, this pawn is attacked. Knight takes here. I think the point is queen e6, and there's draws everywhere. And so I thought, okay, if I'm going to play queen a6 and just be defending, I was thinking in my head, well, why not play queen a8 and queen d5 to defend? So definitely not 100% the right decision, but I think my logic was in the right place. That knight d5, I'm going to have to defend e6 eventually, so why not just defend it straight away? Having said that, my opponent played very, very well, got really good counterplay here. King f7, we're kind of on the wrong path, even though we still have the advantage. And here's the thing. My calculation in my head is in the right place, but my execution was off. So I think that this is a good move. I stand by this. But after queen a7, I needed to play king g8. So I know it looks completely stupid, but queen takes here. Probably either one of these moves, but definitely pawn takes. The thing is, the king is so exposed, and the knight and queen just cannot stop these pawns very effectively. So my head was in the right place. This is definitely winning for black, but my calculation was in the wrong place. Obviously, knight d7 is a huge mistake. I only looked at queen takes, so oops. I was thinking queen takes, like, wow, you know, genius. But knight takes, and now it's like, if the king goes back here, then there's some nasty stuff. So I go king e6. Knight b6 was played, which is probably a mistake. Maybe a big mistake. Now only black should win the game. Queen d6. You know, either I'm going to take here or I'm going to get this check. At this point, white's already messed up. I think knight c5 was the only move that I really considered here. Knight c5. Knight f8 is another move, but to be honest, I didn't really look much into it. The calculations are like really specific here. Knight f8, king e5. Like you just have to play like such a machine to or you need to have more time to play this properly. Because guess what? This is easy to play for black. I'm not saying it's good for black, but it's easy to play. I can make brain dead king moves, and I have a pass pawn that's coming no matter what, and you can't trade the queens off the board because you'll probably lose anyway. So white is winning here, but it's so easy to play for black. So that's why I was saying I feel bad for my opponent. He ended up in a position where like I just straight up blundered, miscalculated, and the result of the position was his game was actually even tougher. It's like so unfair. So he kind of blundered right back by allowing queen g3. And now, yes, it should be a draw, but I still believe only black is playing for the win. And king d3. I think I did the right thing here. I was initially thinking of queen d1 check, but queen f3 and winning the knight is the right way to go. Yeah, well, I'll go the other way, sleazy, right? Knight g6, I'll go king e4 and king f3. That's the thing. And then the king starts to take all the pawns. Meanwhile, this pawn is hanging. I don't know. The whole thing just looks very suspicious. Queen f3, and I'm going to take this pawn with check, or I'm going to go queen d5. It doesn't matter. And you should take here. I'll take this. We should be good. Oh, here's something I didn't see. I mean, I was happy to do this. I think this is winning, especially in a practical sense. But like I said, lots of work to do here. This is sick and disgusting. Queen f3 check. Queen d1 check. Good God. Sick and disgusting. Knight d2, queen g1. King e3, queen g1. King c5, queen g1. And king e4, I can play this move if I want, but obviously, you guessed it. There's nastier out here. It must be this, yeah. Queen g4 and queen g1 again. Not taking the knight in favor of always winning the queen. I saw queen g1, but I was like, oh, knight e3, he's got it covered. Sick and disgusting to check and then set up queen g1. I didn't see it. I did not see that. That's the type of thing, if you find it, they'll just straight up boot you right off the website. Well, hope you enjoyed your last game of chess on chess.com. Fun game. Tarnished it a little bit with this move, but my heart was in the right place. I knew that this was the right idea. You can sack the knight here, and White's king is so exposed, but it was a nice game. My opponent finally played the London properly. Like, guess what? This is how the London gets played. I don't think you want to allow c4, so he was making some small inaccuracies, but he didn't just, like, blunder b2 out of the opening. He's in 1850, put together a good game, and yeah, we got to see a lot of moments here from all parts of the game, so I thought it was a fun one. DQPX Chi, thanks for the 40 months. DQ Adlad, half a year with Prime. Andius Yoda, 56 months. Suin for a couple years with Prime. On the dot, thank you, Suin. Grease Goblin, 94, thanks for the 9 months. Bra 96, 14-month resub. Lardall GG, thanks for the 3 months. Bolo, 9 months with Prime. Ubiquest 5, gifted sub. That's the name I'm seeing more and more these days. Thank you very much for the support, Ubiquest. Nate the Great 64. Looks like a nice little 1 year with Twitch Prime. New sub badge. Let's go, buddy. Manojit 93, thank you very much for the Prime. 14 months from Manojit. I don't usually call subs out during the games, just gotta keep it clean. Usually put these on YouTube later. We haven't started uploading every single game on the main channel, but we have on our extra channel. So if you didn't know, we have a main YouTube channel, but also a Chessbrah extra channel. And every single Slowbrah game will be uploaded there, obviously over a long period of time. But every single game will be there, and the ones that I think are the most exciting, entertaining, educational are going to be on the main channel with a bit more of a focus on them. Two years of chess, brah. Yeah, good timing there, Suman. Not bad at all. Vienna Gambit, you want marbles so bad. You're addicted. You're an addict. I'll refrain today, but I'll even do you a courtesy and let you know ahead of time. It's probably not happening today, my friend. I just did a full day of commentary, so I just feel like playing some slower games, relaxing. Don't have marbles in me today. We did some yesterday, and we've been doing them quite regularly, so I feel like you've gotten your fill. No, 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 no. Well, yes. Thank you for the sub. Brand new Prime. Slowbrah question. Owens, b6, bishop b7, e6. I know where to go d6 or d5 in the center. In the Owens JL Pauls, you almost always go d5 in the center. I can't think of many Owens, almost none, where I play d6. So it's a pretty easy answer for you right there. The timing of d5 is very important, but you almost never ever play d6. It's always d5. You could say there are a few and very few lines where maybe you don't play d5, but then you also probably don't play d6. It'll just be a different situation altogether. But for the most part, you play d5 all the time. It's just when you play it. No, they're just random, Vienna. They're just random. It obviously takes some practice, JL. But I promise you, d5 is your move. It's just, you have to know, like, sometimes you play d5, they play e5, obviously, and you can jump into e4. Sometimes they play e5 and you can't. But I'll say for the most part, you either jump into e4 if it's safe, or if it's not safe, then your move will actually be knight on f6 back to g8. It sounds stupid, but one of the worst things that you could do in the Owens is, or let's say any position like this. So like here, for example, like d5 for sure, and knight e4. But like here, for example, I personally wouldn't jump in e4. Sometimes there's lines with knight b1 where your knight just gets trapped. So I would go here. I think the most important thing about this opening is like, you basically never ever play this move. It seems really natural. It seems really tempting. Keep the knight developed. But the most important square to control is like f5. So as soon as you play this, like white plays knight f4 and just rolls you. It's just very uncomfortable. Knight on d7 does absolutely nothing. You play c5 and what? So knight g8 against your instincts, knight e7, so you control that. It's much better. But knight d7 is definitely trash. So when you have this situation, you either go there or you go there. There's only two options. And you never play d6 because your position will just be trash. Like you won't have enough space to move. Knight d7 allows bishop a6. Well, knight anywhere allows bishop a6, right? Knows all. It's not like this or any different. So bishop a6 is always our plan after d5. But then it's like, think about the resulting position. What's our knight on d7 doing? To be honest, it's doing absolutely nothing. Whereas knight on e7 actually has a future on f5, c6, etc. Same thing here. This is different because we don't actually play this, but in this position, I even like to play bishop a6, even though it's probably not the best move, but I'm very committed to getting these bishops off the board. But yeah, knight d7 is wrong. Has everyone watched our latest YouTube video? Hans Niemann called me a clown. Not talking about me, but maybe he thinks I'm a clown too. I feel left out at this point. What up, Duke Nukem? Good evening, good evening. Bobby. Oh god, I'm gonna have like I can preface this by telling you that I don't know anything to ground my answer. Like it's rooted in absolutely nothing but feeling. But I just like Ayuk. I'm 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 vaguely familiar with both. I just like Ayuk more. That's all I can offer you there, Bobby Block Body. Hello, Ubitzia. What do you mean? What happened? You Are you concerned because there's chess on the screen? Mass Frag, thanks for the 8 months with Prime. We'll play another slow chess game. Hopefully we get the white pieces. Any openings we'd like to brainstorm for next game? That time we got to London, so the decision was kind of made for us. Like, there wasn't much to do. When people play the London, you just have to play something against the London. Like, can't really play your own opening. Oh, you just gotta watch the latest video, you bits, yeah. You just gotta watch our YouTube, bud. This will be, like, as fate would have it, we suggest all these. Wow, exciting, and we get the black pieces. Right? That's how it works. Hey, hi, Liger Bim Bam. Pug Gambit, thanks for the 5 months with Prime. Cheers, buddy. All right. Gonna go for another game. 15 minutes, 10-second increment. All right. And we did get the white pieces. You know, always a choice here. I'm going D4. We don't see enough D4. We see a lot of E4. Time to show D4 some love. I'll make the first critical decision. And now I turn to the trusty chat for suggestions. Bishop G5. Bishop G5 guys here. All right. New opening. Haven't played it? Sure. Have not played it. In this series, I believe. So we'll give it a go. D6 is kind of inspiring. Just don't think D6 is the best way to handle this. So one thing that he is planning to do is knight D7. So no matter what I play, I believe he's planning to go here, H6, and then there's like G5, knight H5, for example. So I think to play in the true spirit of the Trompowsky attack, we should probably take to really get the zen of the position. Okay, G takes. Interesting. I'm surprised by that. Now, I have to probably point out a few things. The first thing is that once you play the Trompowsky like this, you give up your bishop, it should become, or at least feel natural, to place pawns on dark squares, just in general. That will just be a good idea. If you play h3, e4, f3, hopefully you're able to feel just how wrong that is. Like, bishop h6, queen h4, like, your dark squares are indefensible because you don't have a dark square bishop. So you want your pawns on dark squares and your pieces to control light squares. Just as a general note when you give up a bishop like that. That being said, one thing I'm not thrilled about is allowing black to go d5, c6, e6, f5. I don't know about that. So I'm tempted to play the move e4 here. Because I feel like both of these moves are not good, and this feels very restricting. So I'm going to go e4. But this, I would not really want to play the move c4. I'm reserving, I think I want c3. But I'm going to try to play on the light squares here. So I'm thinking about bishop d3 because it stops f5, like those types of moves. Right now, bishop d3, f5 takes, bishop takes d4. I have bishop takes, bishop to b5. So that should be fine for me. Let's see here. Yeah, I kind of like bishop d3. The only other move I'm really thinking about is perhaps c3. So, does this knight want to go to f3? Probably in almost every position, I would say that it does. One thing I'm thinking is like, here, d5, takes, knight f3, bishop g4. Like, pieces are coming out very, very quickly. And I'm not sure that I like that. Almost like a very active Scandinavian. Because if I can keep him from playing either of these moves, then I think I just have a fantastic position. This is me uncovering the great moves that the position has to offer. I'm going to go bishop c4. I want to stop the move d5. For some reason, I believe d5 is like very, very strong. And I'm maybe I'm not going to prevent it fully, but I'm going to be annoying about it. I'm not going to let him have it for free. So after c6, yeah, I get that d5 is renewed as a threat, but first of all, having the pawn there instead of the queen seems to benefit me. I'm also going to develop my queen mega early here and play queen h5. This is kind of the point. Queen usually operates just really well on h5 when you give up the bishop like this. Stops h5 from black. Pins the pawn, which is useful. Okay, happens to watch d5. Think that black should play e6, but e6 isn't necessarily the most natural move in the position. Because as long as I clamp down on these moves, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Knight c3 now. This is tempting, but I don't think we have time. After this, we have to be committed to like queenside castle. So I think we want to do this. Let's just double check. I like knight c3. Yeah, so I figured he would be interested in this, which is why I'm interested in this. So let's guard both pawns. And yeah, I mean, basically, we'll see if my execution can match the great, beautiful ideas that are in my head right now. But I just have this feeling if he doesn't play d5, he doesn't play f5, he's going to be super uncomfortable here. Something as caveman as rook d3 is, like, not here obviously, but like something as ridiculous as that is not out of the question. You can think about f5 here, but just stop and look at the position. That's what I'm going to say, you know? f5 takes, like, I don't know, bishop here. I've got 3 pieces out, one very close to your king. You've got nothing, like everything's on this side of the board for black. It doesn't really make sense that it should be good. I also have a nice idea after f5, which is f6. And if bishop takes, then bishop d3 to threaten h7, which perhaps could be unstoppable. So I have a few ideas ready for him. Not to mention takes. There's immediately queen g4 check. You'd have to bring the bishop back. I don't know, rook d3, rook g3. Like, I'm just thinking of the most caveman ideas possible. He goes a5. This is a tremendously good sign for me. a5 does absolutely nothing. Categorically nothing. Like, yeah, he might want to play a4. I get it. But in the grand scheme of things, I think I'm doing well here. So I think the best I could offer him is a4, rook a5. That's the most annoying thing that he could be intending, in my opinion. Knight f3 looks simple and solid. Truthfully, after this, I do want to play a3. It's the most solid. So I might have to actually deal with rook a5. Strange as that looks. Bishop d3 here. Is that insane? To try to play e5? And of course, is e5 insane to try to play bishop d3? e5 looks too much, but bishop here first. some point he'll play e5. Yeah, bishop d3 is not necessary right now. So although knight f3 looks normal, I'm actually looking at this. I think I have to play a3. I don't like allowing him to do that. a3, rook a5. The queen has to drop back. Do I want my knight on f3 or e2 there? I think I want it on e2. And the reason I'm not sure about f4 is because then, I don't know. I wasn't sure about f5. Perhaps it's completely fine. Otherwise, like, yeah, f4 does make some sense. I think it's simple enough to play this, so we'll do it. This keeps these options open. Queen b4. I'm truthfully not sure what he's up to here. Yeah, like I think we just go back. We always have a3, so. I mean, I could play bishop d3. Is this, Bishop d3 could be a very strong move here. This is fine because a3, we just play this, but bishop d3, that could be exactly what I want. I guess I'll stick with it, but I really did like bishop d3. Very tempting. Okay. We'll attack the queen. Queen here, we just win pawn, and queen a5, we also win a pawn, so I don't know. I don't really know what he's doing, to be quite honest with you. I mean, just look at the position. I've got every single piece out. I'm castled. I have the center. And my opponent is castled with double pawns. A bishop looking at nothing. And just moving, like, literally queens and pawns the entire game. Of course, I have to be better. It would be a crime not to be. And it's all good here. I suppose with the knight, pretty much whatever I take with will just move right back to where it came from, so I don't think it matters much, but okay, well, there's that pesky f5 move. See how much I was on the ball there? It was something I was preventing the entire game, and would you look at that? He couldn't wait to play it. He was salivating to do it. He was so deprived. probably take, much as it pains me to say. I think it's also fine to go f3, but could be biting off more than we can chew there. Yeah, I actually think b5, b4 with these moves has been a serious idea, so I'm probably going to take. I need to solve this problem, let's call it. My knight on a4 is just not good, so. So we're up a very, very clean pawn. The quality of my pieces is questionable. Very questionable. But we know that we're probably in a good spot here, so we just need to fix the damn pieces. We just need to fix them. Pieces need to be rerouted here. These guys are no good, but we got that pawn to boot, so I'll take it. Okay, let's start with something. I like f4. h4 is also an option. You could play, I don't know, h5. This or f4. I like f4. I actually do. Bishop h6 is more or less irrelevant. I'm threatening to win the bishop. E6 looks absolutely like a great move. And my plan is knight e2, c3, and bishop c2. I'm up a pawn. It's just hard to notice. You'd be hard pressed to figure that out. Black probably wants to put the knight here. We got a lot of untangling to do. If I play king b1, the problem is this bishop. Like, then I can't play c3 because it's pinned. So what I'm trying to do is play c3 with the king here. This move, we're covering that. But yeah, if this, I'm probably also going to play something like c3. I need c3 and I need bishop c2. This is just non-negotiable. This move also comes with another threat, which is actually f5. Both my knight and my bishop on c3 and b3 were terrible pieces. Knight b6, bishop c2. So he wants to play the move e5 here. I think I have a pleasant option, which is the move f5. Might not be the most natural at first, but I think it's extremely strong. I have to think for a sec. Here, bishop takes. Should be okay. Bishop c2. There's a little blip with bishop h6 that's kind of annoying, but that can't be too bad. Yeah, I think we're good there. I really like this move. I'm just gonna trust the instincts. That's gotta be correct. Okay, it takes this way, of course. Doesn't need to give up the bishop. Knight f4, might allow this. So I'm thinking bishop here or rook f1. Pretty much only one of those two moves. Only ones on my mind. And probably they'll all need to get played, so I don't think it'll matter. So yeah, bishop h6. King here. Knight f5. I think long term these pawns are in trouble. But if I'm being honest, technically this move was maybe a little better. Was there a case for knight f4? Knight f4 is not a bad move. I think I was a little inaccurate here. Just playing a little too quickly. Confused myself by talking about the moves and saying them in the wrong order. Because now I have to deal with this, which is mildly annoying. We still have a great position, but it could have been better. Just cleaner to start with rook f1, and then this. I don't know about knight f4, but I can say for sure that this was definitely better. Okay, now we have to go here. There's just never a case for taking that. Now the bishop's attacked. Bishop there loses immediately to h4 as far as I can see. So white will always be better here, but it's just much cleaner to have gone rook f1 first. But yeah, bishop here. h4 wins, so I think we'll have to see takes. Knight b6. Rook f1. Knight c4. And this is kind of, what I'm talking about when I'm saying it looks a little dicey. So we'll be better here, but I just have to work harder than we should have to. So this rook, I'm not sure it really matters. Bishop d3 is the other move to try to play. Honestly, maybe even g3. Not insane. Rook on a5 is surprisingly well placed. I think it's g3. I think it's got to be g3. Knight there. I guess there's rook b5, which is it's also annoying. It's also unnecessary. Rook f1 first. Ugh. I'm annoyed with myself. This was a really easy move, rook f1. I have to play. It's knight c4 is too strong. I'm annoyed. I can't allow this. It's too strong. Rook b5 is the nail in the coffin. These moves I can deal with, but knight c4 rook b5 is far too dangerous. Sadly. So unfortunate. This move is like just haunting this inaccuracy because the game should be like rook f1 and it's just the easiest game you've ever played. Bishop here, then you have knight f4. And now we have to work, and I hate working. Yes, threatening knight f4, but I don't think it'll be so easy. Yeah. This needs to be eliminated. There's no way we can deal with this, right? Sadly. There's just not much here. Not much. Rook g4, unfortunately, is rook g5. Otherwise, that would be maybe quite good. This is the really disturbing move, so that's why I think we have to do this. I'll give a check. I'll give a check. Rook b1. I was actually thinking about rook c1, rook c2. I think that would have been reasonable. But yeah, the thing was he has this rook f5 move, which was annoying me. Probably this. Some combination of those moves needs to happen. This move itself is not that bad, but this extra pawn is not extra enough for me. Yeah, we're absolutely going to play this one there, Tim, definitely. Definitely. But we just not doing enough here. Yeah, if we want to play for win, we have to play a4. I'm so annoyed. Why didn't we? Why didn't we do things properly? This is our draw. We have to go for the win. Mm. I'll go rook b8. We'll take this pawn. A rook can come back, but then I was thinking at least this is a bit different. Now I can at least use my rooks, you know? So rook here, there's rook g7. I guess you got that one covered, eh? You figured that one out, did you? Let's play this. if ever rook here, I always have this. Just good to know. The worst move is rook e4. I don't know why you would play it, but meanwhile, what I want to do, I suppose, is a5, king a3, king b4. Mm-hmm. It's a good move. It's a good move. Maybe we just keep pushing this pawn if it gets attacked. Because it can't be taken without losing this. Yeah, but this is the issue. He's not threatening. This is with a check, but even if it wasn't, if this guards that, now we have this outside A pawn. Just play this. This is defended, so it hardly even counts as a threat. A6, A7 will force one of his rooks to come back and deal with the issues. Okay. Yeah, I think I was going to play H5 here. Just looks like a weird, annoying move, right? King G5, I have rook there. Here I get to take the pawn with check. I could take this one, but I think taking F5 is the way to go. Now we're attacking everything. I think we'll end up with 4 pawns here. I'm gonna take this one first, actually. Check. A7, I think, might actually force rook over. Or that. Which one do we want to... Which one do we want to do? This one looks proper because this is not playable. King G5 is definitely the move. At which point, I think I'll actually play this. Rook A8, rook takes A7. Feels cute until you realize you're still down 3 pawns, but after rook A8, I'll even check first. It's like, even the thing you want to do that doesn't work, I'm not going to let you do it. It's a fair resignation. 4 connected pass pawns is admittedly too much. Good game. It seems I don't play, a rapid game these days without one oversight. Certainly one which we blew out of perspective, out of proportion there. Bishop g7. Yeah, I don't know about this, but I can say for sure that queen h5 is like a very comfortable move to play. I think an engine will find like really nice attacking options here, so we'll let the engine do its thing. Definitely we're better just up a pawn, clear advantage, but after f5, black gets a lot going, so the only thing I was truly dissatisfied with this game was, so I played f5, takes, and I didn't play rook f1. Now, I thought that this was like just a very big deal. Rook f1 should happen, and then we take on f5. So I was really annoyed by this move by me. Very sloppy. Now after bishop h6, I was like, it's kind of an issue. And we just have to play so like perfectly here. Knight c4, or sorry, rook e8. This will pretty much transpose. I think what happened is exactly the best line. Takes, takes. Of course, I have to take on f4. I can play rook f2, but I think knight f4 is a bit better, I guess. And it's probably a draw here. White's better, but it's probably a draw. Yeah, and the problem with rook here, which looks really good, and I was about to play it. Yeah, after rook b5, you know, great. I have rook c2, and white's actually maybe doing really well. The issue is rook f5. And if I go rook here, black goes rook check. I have to go back, and then I'm actually dead lost here. So king a2, rook b1, I think is necessary. I don't know really what else to do. And there's no question to me that black has more than enough here. Like, no question. Rook's coming to f2, like, of course. But, I don't know. I can definitely fight a little bit here. I can fight. King h6 was friendly for me. I think that this gave me a real chance to play. And obviously that was a big mistake, but even without rook e2, I thought I was playing a little bit here. a5, king to c4, h5, h6. Black's pawns are so far back and so difficult to advance that I think this still works out pretty nicely for me. It was a good game. It was a really good game. But yeah, one miscalculation. Not happy with it. If I was more alpha in the opening, we would have just mated the guy. Like, his opening was not good. Queen h5, long castle. It's hard to take this seriously. So I'm sure there was like I'm sure there was a checkmate somewhere. I did not trust my opponent's opening. Good game. That was the Trompowsky. That was the Trompowsky. I'm really in the slow chess mood. I may very well continue, but I am going to hop over to our Kick channel for now. I'm dead after commentary, but I'm not done yet. I ain't done with you yet. So if you want to hop over, let's continue the slow chess for the evening. It's also Friday night, and I know that Eric's going to take over the stream at some point, so it'll be a good one tonight, but the rest of it's going to be on our Kick channel. So I will say good night to the Twitch crowd, but hopefully you become the Kick crowd. Join me over there, kick.com/chessbrah. You just saw me do commentary today. I'm all over the place on Kick, on Twitch, commentary on chess.com. We have a YouTube channel. We stay busy. I'll see you over on our Kick channel. I'm probably going to play some more slow games. I think the last two have been pretty instructive, if I may say so myself. And believe me, not just because of my moves. Opponents have been playing well. I've also been, I missed, one or two small things, but kind of critical. And the games have been pretty competitive. So I think they've been good. Wetfoot, thanks for the 3 months with Prime Zolthus, 18 months with Prime Chef. Bob2233, thanks for the brand new sub. Taking advantage of September. Shadow of Pickle, thanks for the brand new Prime as well. Kick.com/Chessbra. I'm going to turn the stream off here. It'll be goodbye on Twitch. But I hope to see any and all of you on Kick. Kick.com/Chessbra. I'm going to turn the stream on in just 30 seconds. So I'll see you guys there.